Hey, good morning, guys. It is Wednesday, the day before Valentine's Day. So, you know, I love each and every one of you and your support that you have given me over the years. I am going to continue to talk on this path about doing renovation loans and who and what do we love is but to be able to help family and yourself build legacies. So we are going to have the area renovation specialist and manager, Peter. He is a financial renovation guru. He's been in the industry forever. Hi, Pete. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Wendy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We've got some good people joining us. So everyone, guys, thank you for joining us this beautiful Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are out and about having fun and enjoying this beautiful weather. We had some ice, but it was beautiful in Chicago. If you were in Chicago, I know I see a few people not local here, but in any event, guys, I've got a treat for you. We've got Pete Ferrara. He and I had closed actually a recent deal that was about renovation, and I wanted to talk more about and share with you guys his expertise because he's phenomenal. He is a guru as it comes to renovation financing, and so he will be able to help you as far as if you're interested in purchasing a property to live in yourself or to also be able to invest in, because there are more ways to skin this cat in the real estate game. So we're going to share with you some of the tips that'll help you do that. So with all that being said, guys, I invite you to listen in to Pete. He is again with Homebridge Financial. And Pete, you have the table. Um, we have a lot of opportunities. Well, let me kind of segue here. First off, we know that inventory is short, guys. So instead of looking for that pristine, perfect turnkey house, have you ever thought about building your own property or designing your own property so then you can walk in automatically with equity? So that's what we're here to have Pete discuss with us. We're going to have probably two, if not three phases of discussions talking about this in several segments, but we're going to talk basics about 203K renovation loans.
Great. Thanks for the warm introduction, Wendy. Yeah, one of the most important things you just mentioned is not trying to find the perfect home. And with having said that, you and I talked earlier today about building instant equity. I think that's the real key right there. You can certainly buy a fully renovated home in the Chicagoland area and pay top market value for it, and which is fine. There's a lot of folks out there that don't want to go through a renovation project, but I could tell you this from experience, and having dealt with many clients that have gone through this, that the end of the day, the results are worth it. To get the home as you would like it, the kitchens, the baths, the floors. You can do a new addition, just to have the house in the neighborhood that you love. And more importantly, at the end of the day, you're basically the one that's going to have the investor profit. Hope there's not a lot of investors out here that I'm taking deals away from them, but certainly there's tons of deals out there. We live in Chicago. Unless you're buying new construction, I look at every deal as a renovation deal. The one cool thing I wanted to mention about Homebridge is if you do a pre-approval with myself or a team, we do have 3 offices out there. So as one of our team members does a pre-approval for a client, that pre-approval is good for both a home that's fully renovated and one that needs renovation. So that's the key. You can look at all properties out there. The other thing I wanted to mention is, speaking of all properties on the market, you can look at bank-owned properties, foreclosures, short sales, auction properties. If the auction house will accept financing, we've done those as well. So the cool thing is your buyers out there will be able to bid on all properties.
Okay. So now, is there a minimum as far as how much they can qualify for, or and even a maximum of what they can qualify for as it relates to doing some renovation?
Yeah, I mean, there really is no minimum. I'm glad you brought that up because, look, there's lots of property in Chicago that, we've heard the words won't go FHA or won't pass FHA. Those are my favorite terms. And I don't want to get into too much of what that means, but it's pretty general, and what that really means is that if there are any health and safety issues, that property cannot go FHA, cannot be financed FHA. So the cool thing is, if there are those properties that have those minor fixes that need to be done, we can certainly put it in a renovation loan. They can just do those items, or they can add other desired items. As far as the maximums, basically with an FHA 203K, you can buy a property at any price and put a renovation amount all the way up to the maximum loan limits for FHA. So, so the sky's the limit pretty much on that.
Okay, but now, Pete, let me ask a question and step back in that one last statement you said about the sky's the limit. But is it also then now limited to the appraised values, market values of the area? So you couldn't buy a $150,000 house and then put $300,000 of renovation in it, but yet the market value is only supporting 350 though, right? Because now we're $100,000 over, or is that doable?
Yeah. Yeah, no, good point. You know, look, and this is where we lean on your expertise. You want to put a buyer into a property that's going to have that excess equity. You certainly don't want to overbuild for the area. You want to get the client a property that's priced right, and then do the renovations that will be supported by comparable sales in the area. So we do look to you for that. So if they're buying a property,
sure that statement is known and clarified, because I think a lot of times people, when they take that, they might take that literally, and I want to make sure that I caution people to understand that that's the whole point of being able to do these things, is to help you build equity. Because when you are buying renovated product, you are paying for that investor's hope for profit as well, or the market for profit that's included in that price tag. So I have a young lady who purchased a property with me last year, and you know, she had no desire to do anything. She wanted everything turnkey. So even the slightest item that needed work, she was like, I'm not interested. So she had to pay top dollar, but she respected and understood that the reality is there's no handyman, or you know, the significant other wasn't as handy as we would like them to be. So then they chose to go with a completely perfect home, and so pay top dollar when somebody else in the community could have bought, you know, or bought in the community and bought something lower and designed it the way they want. So in any event, so I just wanted to bring that round back. There was a question in our audience. A young lady is asking about being able to apply for a renovation loan when you own a small business. So can small business owners apply? What are the criteria and requirements for that?
Yeah, so the good news about this program, I'm glad that question came up, because when I do my presentations, it's super important for me to give that information on this program. You qualify the same as a regular FHA loan in terms of credit, income, and assets. So if you qualify for a regular FHA loan, you automatically with Homebridge qualify for a renovation loan. So the income will be looked at the same way. If you're a small business owner and you file Schedule C or a small business tax return, we will have to average that the income just the same way we would as a regular FHA loan. So again, if you qualify for a regular FHA loan, you qualify for a renovation 203K.
Awesome. Just a little extra note here, guys. Not too many, actually there wasn't that many programs at all available for veterans. In fact, and today actually the Homebridge offers also a VA renovation loan as well, that offers up to about $35,000 in repairs, correct, Pete?
That is correct. So we do offer a VA renovation loan on a purchase transaction on a single family home. Okay. We can do up to the $35,000. The repairs or renovation cannot be structurally based. So it's just for basically just cosmetic stuff.
For cosmetics, because VA does have certain criteria before it can be approved for financing. So you can't do the renovation until after the closings. Is that the reason why?
Well, yeah, it will. On all the renovation loans, you're not doing the work until you close on the property, until you own the property, which is super important to know. And I do want to mention that you are buying the property as is. So the cool thing about it is you're, as a buyer, as you as an agent, are not asking the other side to fix anything. So that makes it more competitive on the contract, on the offer, I should say.
Correct.
You're not
Because you're
asking
not putting
the
any other
seller to do anything, and
restrictions
I'm
on
sure they love that.
that. Exactly. That you're not putting any restrictions on the seller or costing any more money on their bottom line to be able to fix that. So then you become, this could be a strategic move, guys, that allows you to position yourself and your offer to be on top of the multiple offer situation if you're in a multiple offer situation. Because again, you're not going to have to worry about, or the seller doesn't have to worry about you requesting or having to have it FHA compliant in order for you to be able to purchase this property. So that's a great strategy as we're trying to still sell real estate in this environment that we are limited in options that are available. So that's why the renovation loans are great for you to be able to purchase something that is needing some cosmetic work so that you can, again, design it the way you want. Let me see, some other questions that have come to me as far as inquiring about renovation loans, Pete. As far as, can they do it on a mixed use property?
You can on a mixed use. The only thing I caution on that is, so let's say you have three apartments and one storefront. You can do renovation, but you cannot build in dollars for renovation for the commercial piece, if that makes sense. So
That's
we
good
can
to know.
renovate the residential unit.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So now why is that the case, just out of curiosity?
Well, good question. It's just an FHA guideline.
Okay.
So not on our end. They just
So
don't
when the
want the
government
commercial
says no,
space
we
being
have to
renovated.
say, okay. So, but then of course, at that point, you guys, that means that if you're looking at buying a mixed use building, that's, again, don't let that be your limitation. Then in most renovation, excuse me, in most commercial spaces, even if you're leasing a product, the landlord is only giving you the space and you have to still do some modifications like making it white wall. So kind of keep that piece in mind, that at least the other units, the residential units, can be used to go ahead and put some money into it so that you don't have to pay out of pocket for that, but use the money to invest in the commercial space. Because the reality is this, guys, the commercial space is making money for you to be able to stay in your residential unit. So look at it from that perspective, guys. Any other main questions that you have that you've encountered, Pete, when you're talking to prospective clients who are considering a 203K?
Well, a lot of the questions revolve around what they can and cannot do to the property. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about renovation. Folks think that you could just fix what's there and you can't do any luxury items and stuff like that. I think I had sent you a presentation, I think, before this,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Did you get that? Okay.
Yes.
So on that, we have actually had clients do complete roof tear-offs. And so they've gone from the typical Chicago bungalow to a two-story. And people are pretty surprised that you can do that, that as well. The other thing, and I think Juan Loya here had chimed in on multifamily. You and I talked earlier, you do get questions about, can you do a 2, 3, and 4 unit on this program? That is a huge untapped market. I would certainly, suggest that if this is going to be your first property, and you're not opposed to getting into a multifamily, you should look at getting in a multifamily for a couple reasons. One, you're going to build equity. Two, you're going to build an investment property that's going to cash flow. So those are, it's an easy way to get into property and basically live rent free. So, you can have those 3 units, pay for the entire mortgage, and have a surplus. We see that all the time because the cool thing about this program is you're going to renovate all the units and get top market rent on each unit versus buying a place that is sort of dated and you're not going to get those top market rents.
Correct. Well, at that point too, guys, keep in mind, try not to be about being shortchanging on the front end, because if you can get the renovation loan, guys, the reality is this, like just Pete said, to his point, you'll be able to get the ability to be able to insist on a higher rent or demand a higher rent because those things are updated. Plus the fact that now all of the major improvements have been wrapped into your mortgage as opposed to doing it later on down the road, which is out of your pocket, guys. So all those things are very key as far as being able to really consider a 203K renovation loan, because that is a way to help you, again, to sustain growth that is really achievable, because then again, it's making sure though, guys, you have good credit, and you have the opportunity to manage and knowledge to manage a building, but allows you to make money on the front end as you're collecting rent. But keep in mind, it's going to allow you to collect money on the back end. I think a lot of people forget about this fact, is equity. And I think a lot of times we do forget that. We're just so enthusiastic about buying a property that I think sometimes we do forget about equity. So sometimes being able to buy in an area that is not the most trendiest area, is nothing wrong with that, because if you know and talk to realtors who are skilled in the areas that they work in, so then they can share with you what are some areas that are up and coming. So go around the trendy areas, so then you're not buying the trendy prices, but then buying into areas that are becoming kind of, if you will, in the path of where the trendy is going, or because all expansion, it has to naturally go north, out, north, south, east, west, whatever, from direction of that space or the area, then you're allowing yourself to build some serious equity. We've got a lot of topics we can truly talk about, and you have watched me talk about this for about the last month or so, as far as really promoting creating legacies through ownership of real estate, and beyond just a single family home, but multi-family properties, investment property, because that is the true way to build wealth and create legacies. So I had, let me see if we had any other questions.
Hey, Wendy.
Yes.
Hey, can I add one more thing? I know we don't want to keep people on too long, but one more important thing, this program isn't just for properties that have to have repairs done. So, there's some stats out there that the average first-time home buyer goes into a property, and the property is perfectly fine, but there's some things that they want done to their own personal, taste and stuff like that. They're going to go in and in the first year or so spend $15,000 to $30,000 on improving the property as they would like. The neat thing about this program is that if you already know you want to do these items, instead of getting Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards financing, you might as well put it in up front and have the property finished as you want. So I just wanted to mention that you can do it even if the property will pass FHA appraisals and all that. You can still do renovation. So most times, as as an agent, you take buyers out there and they love the area, they love the house, but they don't like the bathrooms or the kitchen, or they want to finish the basement. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Great point. You're right, guys. I mean, that's right, Pete. You're right. It's totally an opportunity for you to customize and make it the way how you like it, because again, the kitchen is not quite yet the way how you like it, or maybe the kitchen is not an open floor plan. Like, I know that I had a client who listing, and one of the feedback was it was in a townhouse, and they felt that it was not an open floor plan. And I made the suggestion, consider 203K, because you can knock the wall down and then have an open floor plan, because you want it to be in this subdivision of Lombard. So that's an option to consider for sure. That's more structural, but kitchen is not needing updates or what have you. So guys, we again have lots of things that we can talk about. We have had prospective buyers, or people are interested, as well as loan officers. Homebridge is one of my preferred partners. Pete, as well as his cohort, Juan Loya, is also with Homebridge Financial, and they are both very passionate about being able to help you create wealth through real estate, and being able to help you by doing a renovation loan as well as other loans. So let me not say that they don't have the ability to do that, but they are the formidable competitor as far as doing renovation loans in the Midwest area, and it continue to grow, and their influence continues to be flourishing. So we want to share that with you, and that's why I brought them on board with you to share with you a video. We're going to have to talk more about this because it's a very in-depth topic, and we've got good people engaged today, Pete. So I'm very excited about that. So it's a hot topic. And Pete mentioned that he had sent me a presentation. If you are interested in getting more information and talking one-on-one, please reach out to me directly, and I will share with you this this presentation. Inbox me your email address, or say pound presentation, and then we will go ahead and share that with you. And then Pete and I can also have an opportunity to chat with you one-on-one. Lenders, I know a few of you have joined us on board as well watching. If you are interested in learning more and partnering with the company, I respect everybody who works for their company, but if you don't have a renovation loan, Homebridge Financial is a great one to partner with, so that, or you can share that opportunity, that lead with that prospective buyer, because it's all about the clients being happy, guys. So maybe you guys, form some separate relationships and partnerships regarding that. So with all that being said, Peter, is there anything else that you want to share? Otherwise, I am going to wrap up the call, but I definitely want people to know how they can get a hold of you. So can you please provide your phone number as well as your company name, and also you can also put it in the news feed later on after broadcast, and that way they'll have it available.
Yep, thanks, Wendy. Yeah, the best way to contact me is by cell phone, 708-774-1654. My information is also on that presentation. So email, web, and phone number. So have the clients request that, and they'll have all my information in writing.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you again, guys. It is a winning Wednesday, and thank you so much for joining me on another Wednesday Wisdom Wealth segment. So thank you so much, and we're going to, again, continue to bring this on part 2. We'll let you know when it's available. Then we're also going to share with you and go on site at a commercial property, a residential property that actually Pete and I had did the loan. Well, Pete did the loan, and I did the acquisition for the client. And so you're going to be able to see that all in action as a renovation comes into play after the closing. So we're going to talk about, we talked about the process during, so we're also going to share about the process after, and then after the closing as well, once all the repairs are done. And I think there might have been one more. Okay, so thank you, Juan. I appreciate your partnership as well. Guys, these guys are the real deal. So definitely reach out to them, either Pete Ferrara or Juan Loya, to look into 2 or 3K loans, or also reach out to me directly. And with all that being said, beautiful day, guys. Go out there and enjoy it. Spring is in like another, they say 30 days or so. So let's take advantage of it. And I will talk to you soon, guys. Thank you, Pete, again for joining me, and we'll be talking soon. Okay?
Thanks, Wendy. Have a good day.
Bye-bye, guys.